Hey everyone, welcome back to Music Mentality. I'm Angie, she, her pronouns, and today we have Cactus Orange, he, him pronouns. Cactus Orange is an up-and-coming artist from Virginia. He listened to his intuition growing up, which has always pushed him towards the music scene. He has made some big decisions to pursue his passions, and so far he's got so much to show for himself. He's making big footprints, but it isn't always easy. In fact, it can get really hard, and he's here to share the realities behind making it as a singer. This is a warning that this episode covers themes that may be triggering for some, including depression and self-harm. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to say I literally loved your music. Your new song is one of my favorite songs. I said it on my TikTok lives. I was like, listen to him. It's so good. So honestly, good on you. You've been learning the guitar recently, right? You just started learning the guitar?
Yes, just recently.
Cool. How's that going?
It's going pretty well. I know Fine Line by Harry Styles like super well now, but that's all I know. That is all I know right now. I'm still trying to like figure everything out, but I don't even know like the names of the chords. I just watched a YouTube video and I was like, okay, I can do that. So
yeah, I've been trying to learn the guitar for a while. I know chords, but I don't know any songs. And I suck at strumming. So, but your main instrument, your voice, let's talk about that. How long have you been singing?
I have been singing ever since, like, it sounds so weird, but like I've literally just always have been singing. Like I would ask for my mom's like flip phone and plug in like headphones and like just listen to all the songs that she had like downloaded on there. It was like Green Day and like U2 and a bunch of other things. And I would just like sing along with that. Yeah. When I got into middle school, it took me a while to get into like choir because I have like a bunch of like learning disabilities with like just processing shit like slower and everything. But I've always been like, music was like, I know exactly what I'm doing with this. And so my 8th grade year, I got into my first choir and I was like, hell yeah. And I've just been singing ever since. I've never had a vocal lesson. Like I've never actually gone and like had somebody teach me. I've just listened to people and I'm like, okay, I'm going to like imitate this so that my voice doesn't get messed up. And so, yeah. And it's just helped me like create my own voice. And I think that's really hard. Somebody asked me that in the DMs the other day. They were like, how do you find your own voice? And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I just started like singing what felt comfortable to me. And, you know, and it happened. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I've been singing for a long time now, over 22 years.
Whatever, over 22 years.
Yeah, apparently. Sorry. Yeah, about 22 years I've been singing, you know.
No, that's really cool. I like just recently started taking singing classes. I'm not good at singing, but recently I opened up my laptop and I was like going through old documents and stuff. And I found all these albums of songs that I wrote. But I remember when I was 14 years old, I showed some people and they made fun of me for it. And then I stopped. Then I never touched like writing music again until just recently when I picked up songwriting again, like lyrics, like writing lyrics. Have you ever had moments of doubt where like someone said something and you're like, I guess this isn't for me anymore. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yes. So many times. I don't even have enough fingers on my hands to tell you how many times that has happened. It's just like, when you believe in something so much and you just love it, and then somebody's like, oh, or like, no, like, don't do that. It makes you second guess everything that you've ever like believed in. And what sucks is all through like high school and everything, people were always like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing outside of school? Cause I used to work and stuff, but I was always like, I know I'm going to be a professional singer. And everyone was like, you're an idiot. And then it made me start thinking, well, am I? Should I not be doing this at all? And it came to my senior year where everybody, you know, you graduate. What are you doing after? Like, are you going to college? Are you doing? And obviously, the answer for a lot of people was yes, I'm going to college or university or whatever you call it. And I was just no, I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And people were like upset that I didn't know what I wanted to do. And when I told them that I was going to do singing full time, I had peers, like adults, telling me that I was an idiot and telling me that that it would never work out. And I went to community college for about a year and a half, and I cried every single day driving there because it was just, I was wasting my time, and I knew I was wasting my time, and I wasn't happy, and I stopped singing, I stopped writing, and that's when I knew I needed to draw a line because I was not being who I wanted to be. I was being what everybody else wanted me to be. And I dropped out. I got a job at a restaurant, and one of my old piano, like, she would come in and play the piano for the choir. Super nice lady. Except for this time, she saw me and asked me like how I was doing. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm actually doing music full time." And she was really shocked about how I was doing that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I dropped out of college." And she just, ooh, like face expression from smiling and seeing me just dropped. And she grabbed my arm and was like, "You did what?" And I was like, "I dropped out of college. Like, I didn't enjoy it and it wasn't for me." And she got so upset in this restaurant. I was like, that was the worst idea you could ever do. She's like, "You are so talented. You are wasting your time." There's just so much doubt. There's so much doubt until you start doing things. And I was actually talking to somebody that I went to high school with yesterday because he makes music too, and he released something, and we just kind of had this conversation about everybody will doubt you until you actually start making moves and it actually starts happening, and people then take a step back and they're like, "Oh shit, I'm not doubting myself at all." And it took me a long time, almost 3 years, to really get to that point of making music and knowing that this is actually going to work. Like, this is going to work. I know it's going to work. you know Even though if you get second thoughts and then everybody's like, "Don't, that sucks," like, it might suck to them, but just because it sucks to other people, don't lose that passion for that, because that you can't let other people drive the wheel for you. Like, you can't be in the back seat while somebody's driving your car.
The thing that pisses me off the most, and I get this, it frustrates me when people come at you upset that you didn't take a conventional route. Like, it's not like they care about you. Why do my actions matter to you? Like, what's it to you? Um, and then they're like, "No, but it's just like you have potential and I care about you." You don't care. If I know I have potential, that's why I'm pursuing that potential that I like, not this conventional thing. So I totally get it. I also think school is overrated, and I'm going to keep saying it. I've said it many times before, and I truly stand by it. For anyone who does go to school, I think that's amazing. That's an awesome path that they've chosen. I just think that there's so much more to life than school. Like, so I'm in my 5th year of university right now. I'm finishing up my 2nd degree, and it was my 2nd year of university that I was so suicidal because I was trying to get into law school to conform to like what these expectations around me were. And I just cared so much about my grade. It consumed every single part of me. And I'm like, now I'm at a point in my life where I don't even need school to do what I want. So I'm just finishing up my degree just to say I finished it up, but like, I don't even care about it. So definitely it's a piss off when other people are pissed off about the thing about you doing what you love. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And it's like, it stops you. Well, at least it stops me. Like, that's something that I have definitely dealt with a lot when people are like, "No, but you shouldn't do that, or you can't do that." Honestly, even myself, when I'm like, "Oh my God, like, am I even doing anything good right now? Like, what am I doing?"
Yeah, that happens to me on the daily.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a little bit of imposter syndrome there. But how do you get through that? Like, when you have moments of self-doubt, what do you do?
I I don't. There are some things that are just like help me because it comes with like my anxiety, and uh like, I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about this too. Is I started like really disassociating this year, and I don't know why. Like, it just started happening, and I'll like zone out, and I'll be like, "None of this is real." Like, what am I doing? And um it just all kind of hits me, and my brain just immediately goes, "This sucks. You're not doing anything good. nothing here matters for you. Like, why are you even continuing doing this? And then, you start, oh yeah, I, I'm not doing anything good. But then it's really the DMs and stuff that I get from people. I feel that people believe they know me like through my music and stuff, which is like a beautiful, beautiful thing that I like to think about. I think something that really shook me the other day was I wasn't planning on releasing I See Ghost because of this situation, because I was like, in my head, I was like, this song is not going to do well. And I just didn't know what to do. And I played it on a live. And this person reached out to me and was like, hey, you don't know me and I don't know you, but this song really means a lot to me. And I would love for you to release it. If you don't, I understand. And then he went on to be like, my friend killed himself last year. He was my best friend. Like, I miss him a lot. And this song, like, reminds me of him. And it was just like a really beautiful moment that him and I shared, that like we just talked about everything. And it made me instantly be like, my music is doing something for people. And that can be really overwhelming as well, as when I get a lot of messages saying like songs saved, certain songs of mine like saved people's lives. And it's like, it always makes me think like, what if I didn't release that? So it's just a lot of like, I guess, inner self-reflecting of, hey, I know the brain's being like, you're an idiot, don't do this, it's bad. But you have to realize you're in control and you have the ability to know your or know your worth, and know that what you do is good, and it took me, again, a really long time to get to that point. And I've just been doing a lot of self-healing and deep diving on like darker stuff that's happened to me in the past. And it's like really helped me heal. And that has also really helped me get to the point where I'm like, no, what I'm doing is good. Like, I don't have to second guess myself, but I do a lot still. Like, I woke up today and I was like, I'm gonna cry. And I didn't, but it's just like, sometimes it hits you randomly.
Yeah. I mean, you're clearly building like such good connections through your music. I mean, people don't even have to know you to feel the message that you bring through your music. Like, that's a huge, huge, yeah, it is a huge responsibility, but it's also like such a milestone. Like, that must be
Mm-hmm.
so rewarding to know that the thing that you love most is not only the thing that saves you, but saves other people too. Like,
Yeah.
that just gives humans like this whole new purpose to remember that, like, you got to do what you love. Otherwise, you're not helping yourself or the people around you. Like, and the fact that you're able to write about your experiences, I mean, clearly your music, it represents you well. It represents exactly where you've come from and where you're going. And I think that's a really, really, really difficult thing to write about, because a lot of artists, and they're great artists too, but they write about other people's experiences and what they witness. And it's not necessarily coming from your own perspective. It's coming from a different person's perspective, which is fine. It works for a lot of people. But I think the music that hits me personally deeper is the music that, like, I know this person has gone through something. I feel that. I get it. They're here. I can be here too. And that's, like, again, rewarding on both ends.
My big message is just to be yourself, be your true, authentic self, and love who you are. And don't give a shit about anybody else. And I always say this is like to a lot of my like younger audience, and they're like, well, I had somebody that was talking about how they were gay, but they didn't know like if they wanted to come out because of their parents. And like, that's something, another thing is like, people like come out to me and they're like, you're the only one I've ever told. And it's like that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I have friends who are in the community and family, and it's a beautiful thing. And it's hard for people to express that and like come out, and it's a scary, scary thing as well. And so, because you don't know how, especially right now, it's like you don't know how people will react, and that's what's dangerous as well. But they were talking about that, and I was just like, you have to realize you are not your parents. You are not living their like. Are your parents coming in, wearing your shoes, going to your job, doing your everyday work, life, and everything? They are not you. There is only one you right now, sitting, listening to this. You know, us talking. There's only one of us. It's just like you just have to realize like you can't live for other people, and that's what I've really started to come to terms with. Is like, I'm going to be me. I'm just going to love myself. I'm going to do what I want to do, because it's just so messed up how people try to control that kind of stuff.
If you can realize it at a young age that people are fucking cool for being themselves, we've got a lot to learn from those people. It's not like you and I, but like the people who aren't themselves have a lot to learn from those people, because at the end of the day, the best people, the most successful people are not only kind, but they're also themselves. Which also kind of reminds me of a post. It basically said that when we reach a level of neutrality, that should be our happy. It shouldn't be anything above that, because even though earning millions or having millions of fans and, you know, like living the dream, that is great. Eventually, say, for example, we're going to talk about views. So one day I'm like, oh, I really want 1,000 views. That would make me happy. And now I'm consistently getting 1,000 views and I'm not happy anymore, because I've reached a state of neutrality where I'm like, no, I want 10,000 views. And then you hit that and then you're not happy anymore. And then all of a sudden you're constantly like searching for these highs and reaching plateaus. So the real secret, quote unquote, to happiness is learning to be happy within neutrality and just the way everything is now, the ups and the downs. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh. That's heavy. I don't even like, you summed it up like really well, but like that was like
that was me. I was literally like, whoa, how do you be happy with neutrality though? Because like I want more. I always want more. Like that's our ego. All of us humans constantly want more until we hit a plateau, and then we want even more than that.
Yeah. And I guess I can say with that is like, when I started on TikTok, you know, I posted something, got like a couple hundred followers. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I hit 1,000. I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's just like I hit 62,000, and I'm satisfied with who I have here now. But it's like I always want to see it get bigger. I don't think personally that I will ever feel that like accomplishment of it getting bigger, because it's like it's always going to keep going, and it's just like kind of out of my hands. You know, I can't force somebody to listen to me. I can't force somebody to follow me. And so it's just like, even if like they just like stay on my live or they listen to a song and they skip it and they never see me or they never hear my songs again, you know, it's like, that's okay. But it's just like coming to that level of living and like being happy with it is weird. It's like I hope that was a good answer, but like it's just like it's a weird like thing, because you know, how do you be happy with that? You know, how can you, like, I don't know. It's like I don't base my stuff off numbers. It's amazing to see that I have like 60,000 people, but I literally can't even picture 60,000 people, because that's an arena. Like that is a like packed arena.
But good for you for not basing kind of, I guess, your success off of this external marker of success. When we focus too much on numbers, we forget why we're doing the things that we're doing, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is to inspire one person by just being yourself, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of also want to talk about meds. So medication is like a huge topic that a lot of people in the mental health field talk about. And there's a lot of controversy on it. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely guilty of that, where I'm like, I don't want to take medication for ADHD or depression or anxiety, because I feel like it's going to change the way my brain works. Now, like, I'm in psychology and I get how it works. And I'm still here saying like, I don't want to do it, because like, what if I can't be who I am anymore? Like, what if it turns me into someone else? And I've like worked so hard to love who I am today. And now here I am trying to change who I am, even though it's not exactly that. What are your thoughts on medication?
Yeah. So for a really long time, I've seen people, I've seen friends, family take antidepressants and stuff, mainly for like what I've seen. I've seen like a lot of antidepressants, and it's like some work great, and people are like, I'm so much better now. And then I've seen people take them, and it just absolutely catapults them downwards. It's like it's a really bad and scary thing because they're taking that to feel better, and it's making them feel 10 times worse than they did before. And it's like, now how do you pull somebody out of that? It's like a really, really scary thing. And so for a while, I denied that I was depressed. I knew I had anxiety. I've always known I've had like really bad anxiety, like especially when I was little. And my mom would like go and get like the mail. Like I would feel like I was like left, like I was like, oh my God, where did everybody go? Like I would cry and like freak out. And it's just like when you have those bad days, it feels like the world stops for me, and people are just like all eyes on you, even though you know that they are not even like paying attention to you at all. It's just like it feels like everybody's staring at you. And so it's like I really was scared to be like, okay, like I need to take medication. So I just like kept pushing it away. But then a few months ago, it got to the point where I could not sleep. And if I slept 10 hours and I woke up and felt like I had been up for like 3 days, and it was like that every day. And I literally could not get up to clean my room. I could not get up to do the dishes. Like it was just like this is the most simple thing. It's all sounds dumb, but it was just like, this is not okay. And then I started having thoughts again where I was like, I don't want to be alive right now at all, but I do. And I think Bo Burnham summed it up really well in his special, where he says, if I could just like kill myself and then come back in 5 years, like where I'm dead, but I'm not dead. It's just like, I was at that point. I finally reached out to my doctor. Amazing. I love her so much. She is great. And she was like, yeah, you're definitely depressed. Obviously, the fact that you don't want to hurt yourself, but you're having these thoughts, we want to get that under control. And she gave me this medication, and I've just been like upping it and upping it. And so far, it has like helped balance it out. It's like makes me actually think that I had ADHD too, because it's like an ADHD antidepressant like mix, and so it helps calm down the anxiety, which I didn't know. She said like a lot of anxiety actually comes with ADHD. Did not know that at all. And so it like kind of started balancing everything out. And I know this isn't going to be a forever thing. I'm a huge marijuana supporter, weed, whatever you want to call it. Like I love weed. I love it. And I think that I would like to just fully switch over to that, and not like an everyday, like just every freaking second I'm smoking. Like, no, for me, when I was like doing it and everything, like literally one hit and I was so much better. Like my back pain and everything disappeared. Like I was just mellow and I was relaxed, and I was like, that's all I want. I denied like being depressed for a really long time, and I think that I feel ashamed of, because it's like I knew and I didn't want to get that help, but then it got to the point of where I was like, ooh, something might happen if I don't reach out. So it's like, if you I feel like at least go talk to a doctor, like that's what I was going in with. I didn't know if I was going to get medication, but I wanted to go and say like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going on, what are your thoughts? And and that can't hurt. It's better to reach out and have those conversations and figure out what's going to work best for you, rather than like ignoring them and then bad things happening in the end.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, huge marijuana supporter here too. Where I live, it is legal, so it's pretty easy to get access to it, which is, I think it's a huge privilege for me, because it has helped me quite a bit too. And a hate the stigma behind it, where people are like, oh,
Mhm.
you're a druggie, blah, 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 just because you like marijuana. And I'm like,
Nope.
no,
No. Yeah.
it
It's
helps.
just, yeah. And it just became legal here, but you have to be gifted it, or uh you see, you still have to have a marijuana card. Like, you have to have a medical marijuana card or it's illegal.
Oh, that literally makes me so angry. Like,
And it's like, if it's accessible, it's way overpriced. It's like so expensive to, like, why?
but that
I mean,
still makes it
obviously.
inaccessible. Like,
Mhm,
if we're going down to the like, so many impoverished communities are the ones who
mhm,
need marijuana to cope with it, but they can't
yes.
fucking afford it.
Yeah.
Oh, that literally makes me so angry. Like, also, at one point you mentioned oversleeping, and my God, okay. So the thing about depression that I've noticed, one day, like I remember when I was younger, I'd really oversleep. Like I would sleep like 12 hours a day, and then I'd wake up, and then I'd still obviously feel tired. And then it's like, I can't do anything. Actually, I experienced this last week where I was just trying to relax, but then I got a migraine, and like my heart was racing so quick, and like I was sweating and I didn't know what to do, and I was shaking, but I was exhausted to the point where my eyes were closing and I couldn't handle it. And I'm like, I just want to sleep, but I can't sleep. And it's like the worst thing ever, because what do you do in those moments? But in terms of oversleeping and overdoing something, like I know lots of people oversleep, other people overdo it at the gym, a lot of people overdo it at work, and they dive deep. And I've got friends who, they're spending all day doing work, and they're like, I have to be productive, I have to be productive. And then another friend who's like, I want to get out of bed, but I can't get out of bed. And both extremes are depression, and it's still really, really difficult to juggle it. um One of the things that helped me through my depression was music, where I'd be very hyper focused on music. And, I'd practice the piano 9 hours a day. And on one hand, it's like, yes, music has been there for me. But on the other hand, it's also been like, that is depression, to turn to something to such an extreme where you can't even take a break from it. Like, have you ever used music as your anchor? Is that what music is to you? Or is it like a diary? What is it?
To me, music is a friend that's never left. I feel like it's starting to be me now, because I've just had so many friends just disappear, up, leave,
Mm-hmm.
not say anything, or they say something and it's super hateful and they like dip out, and like, or I'm like pushing them away and everything. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a lot of people that I can go to here, because
Mm-hmm.
my engineer and my producer, I love them to death. Shout out Lex and Joseph. They have, that's like their job. They work every day, so it's like I can't just go over to their house at any time. And like, you know, it's just like I've had so many people just up and leave, and it's like it feels that like even when those things happen, and it's just like music's that person that's never left for me. And music is like so many different genres, so it can be so many different emotions of like, I can be alone and listening to Billie Eilish feeling like an absolute badass, but then I can like be alone and like listening to like Harry Styles' Fine Line and crying. There's just so many different things, and it's like they're just I also feel like that comes into play with my song. Like, I See Ghost is like, that song's about some awful things that happened, and I lost friends, and because like they were the reason that it happened. And so I was like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. But now they're starting families and they're starting like their own lives, and you're sitting there and you're watching it, and you want to be involved with that, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to like
Oh my
be with
God.
those people, but
Yes.
they're bad. They're bad for you, and you can't
Mm-hmm.
do that. Like, that they are gone for a reason, and
Yeah.
you have to look at like where you were with them and where you are now without them. And it's like you know, and people do heal. People do go back to each other and like they fess up to everything. But I know with everything that had happened in that situation that that's not going to happen, and I'm just so much better now. Um, you know, like I see ghosts and they're my real friends. It's like these ghosts can be like the music to me, or it can literally be just like being so alone with your thoughts. Like that's kind of it's like the thoughts of like when you're going through depression and everything, that's them becoming like personified as like this ghost, as this like shadow figure of just like
Mm.
I'm here for you whenever you need me kind of thing. And yeah.
I've got a few things to say about that. First of all, when I'm sad, it's a rabbit hole and I will listen to sad music. And I like my favorite genre is punk, emo type music. Like I love Youngblood. That's like,
Mm,
I love Youngblood. That's my
he's
Harry
really good.
Styles.
Hey. Yeah.
Although Harry Styles is really cool too. But I really kind of dig myself into a hole where I'll listen to angry and sad music. And on one hand, it'll make me feel like it'll validate those feelings and it's cathartic. But on the other hand, if I listen to it for too long, it won't be good. But I wanted to dive also deeper into Harry Styles and how he has helped you because I have my fair share of artists that have like really impacted me. And One Direction was one of them. Loved One Direction growing up. But how has Harry Styles played a
Yeah.
role in your life?
Yeah. So it actually, like you said, One Direction, it started with them. And when I've been watching them ever since they were on the X Factor. Like it's just so crazy to see where they were and like where they are now, like all separate, obviously. But, you know, when they were all together in One Direction, you know, that I don't think they realized like how much they were actually helping people, you know. And when I found them, I was like, at first, you know, everybody was making fun of them and stuff like, oh, if you like them, you're da 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 and whatever. And so I kind of kept that like a secret for a while. And then I was going through a really, really bad time towards the end of middle school. And that came into play with like a lot of self harm and a lot of dark, dark thoughts that were kind of like, you know what? I don't want to be here. And I was walking home and I was really sad, like really sad. And I went downstairs. I turned off all my lights and I was just like, I do not want to be here anymore. And I laid on my bed and I opened YouTube and Fireproof by One Direction popped up. And I was like, oh, like I didn't know they released any new music. And I played it and I was just like, holy shit. It was like an epiphany. It just hit me like a train. And it made me realize that I want to do what they just did for me. Like I want to do that for other people. I
I
want
want
to
to hit
make
people with
music that,
trains.
yeah, yeah, I want to hit I want to hit people with trains, apparently. No, but I do not want to hit people with trains. Okay. I will not hit nobody with a train. I do not have a train license. I don't know. I do not have anything. But I just like, I knew that I wanted to make that big impact. And Harry has always been my favorite in One Direction. Like I love all of them equally. You can't compare them all. Like I hate when people try to do that. Like who's better? Like especially when they ask each of them individually, like who do they think's projects are better? And it's just like that's like I don't even know. It's just like asking somebody. Like it's like asking your mom if you have like multiple siblings, like who's your favorite? You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just kind of like what? Like it's just like an odd question. And you can see how like uncomfortable they get. But it's like I love all of them equally. I just know Harry Styles for me has more of an impact on my life. And like he represents like so much for a lot of people. And like I just love his self-expression and the fact that like he does not give a shit at all. He's just himself. And that's what I love. And that's like kind of what I want my message to be for people is like I love how his like treat people with kindness. And like my fans and I made like this whole thing like called like We Love. And it's basically like just we love everybody equally. Like it's just like this, it's literally treat people with kindness, but like in our own way and without getting sued. Um, but like you get what I'm saying. And it's like, I don't know. He's an amazing person, and I cannot wait because I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen the day that I can actually like meet him in person and like actually sit down and talk with him. It's just like, although I don't know him, it's like through his music and stuff. Like, it's like how I feel like my fans know me. It's like through my music, they get to know me. And so it's like through his music, I get to know him, and just being able to sit down and tell him like how thankful I am for like just everything he's done, because I would not be here without Harry Styles. Like, and I know people might be like, Quinn's obsessed with like, sorry, my name is Quinn. I keep forgetting to say that. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But like, he's obsessed with Harry Styles, and it's just like he's just a normal guy that's just doing an abnormal job, and like that's gonna be like the same thing with me. It's just like I'm just me. I will never ever think of myself, whether I'm famous and have all this stuff to tie to my name. It's just like I am in an abnormal job that very few people get the absolute luck of just that sliver chance to happen. And I'm going to be so thankful and grateful. And my thing, I'm going to give back, give back, give back. I owe Harry Styles so much, like just so much gratitude and so much, like, I don't even know how to express it. It's just,
no, I get it.
He is like,
no, it's a really beautiful thing. Okay, few things. First of all, I so get it. Like, that's how I feel about Youngblood. I'm like, it makes me so happy to know that there's other people who have the same belief system as me and like think in the same way as I do. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that you said that you're one of the lucky few. I don't know if it's luck though, because you worked so hard. I wouldn't give that to luck. I would give that to your efforts. Like, you've earned that.
Thank you. And it is just like, I say it's in a way of luck, just because it's like, and even now I've talked to people, and the amount I can say this because like I don't have no contracts. I've talked to so many people in this industry that are like with Republic Records, Columbia, like Warner, like all these things, and they're such amazing people. I love them to death. They're in my life. They're in my corner. But it's like that I've talked to those people, and I'm still here. I'm still doing this all independently. It's because it takes that one person, and that I feel like I'm working, I'm grinding, I'm doing everything I can. But at the end of the day, that sliver of luck of what I mean is that one person that's working that will hear me one day and be like, this guy right here. And like, that's how it happens with a lot of people. And I know a lot of people that has happened to recently or has happened in the past. And it's just like, it's a crazy thing, because once it happens, you get swarmed. Because like a big thing that a lot of people don't know is, like, let's say Republic Records finds me and they're like, oh, we really like you and everything. They're technically not allowed to be like, you're mine. Like, it's every single record label comes in offering you deals, this, and it's like, it's crazy. And so like, I know that's going to happen. It's just like, and I credit myself. And I do appreciate you saying that, because that's really nice, because not a lot of people say stuff like that. But like, it's just like, I have worked so hard. I work day in, day out writing, and it's just like trying to better my craft with learning guitar and everything and stuff too. And it's just a lot of stuff people don't see behind the scenes. And a lot of like, people just think like I'm sitting on my ass, like not doing anything. And then, all of a sudden I'm releasing music. It's like, absolutely not. It's just like, although I'm not present on social media, it's like I am doing so much hard work behind the scenes that it just like gets me so excited to like even talk about and stuff. And I don't know. It's just like, it's really nice to get that recognition and get that like, but it's always like, I'm going to be better. I'm going to keep working harder. And like, even when that one person's like, hey, we really like you, like let's talk, like an actual deal. Once that actually happens, like I'm not going to change that mentality just because. And I think that actually goes back to kind of what we were saying earlier with like oh my gosh, it all ties together in the end. No. But
It
like
does.
it's like, even it does. And like, even though I reach that point of like getting signed to like the label of my dreams, I'm not going to stop and be like, I'm good now. Like I did it, because if you do that, then they're going to drop you. It's just like, I'm going to keep this mentality of just like keeping it healthy. And that's something that I also am working on, is like trying to keep a healthy balance between like personal life and actual like this job that doesn't feel like a job at all. It's just like me doing what I love. And I just know that I just have to keep getting better, and like don't push myself to be better, because you can't push yourself to be better. You just learn along the way.
I love everything that you have to say, because again, like I really resonate with it. It's like, it's true, everything that you're saying. And I see a lot of people putting in the effort, but then like if they don't see the success come out of their effort right away, they give up on it. And like finding, first of all, a few things. Finding that one person is the work. Like at the end of the day, connection building. And I don't just mean networking. I mean like building true connections, meeting people, like making music that resonates with people. That is all work. Being yourself, learning how to be yourself and standing up for people. That is work that you've started contributing to your career way earlier than you think. It's all part of the experience and the growth. And a lot of people give up so quickly. And I think that there is enough space in this world for everyone to be successful, because I mean, success looks different for everyone. Like you get to define what success is for yourself. So really, really amazing. You're very inspiring. Truly. You're very inspiring.
Thank you. And I actually want to add to that, is like, when I was writing with Laurel, she helped write Cold Coffee, and she wrote Sonder with her friend Talltale. They are so beautiful musicians. Everybody go check them out. But
yes, supporting others.
Yes, no, they are some of the best women musicians I know right now, and they're so kind, they're so amazing, and the fact that they actually wanted to work with me blows my mind. But they inspire me daily. But when I was writing with Laurel, and she was talking to me about like some stuff, and she's just like, I was really doubting myself. I'm like, how do you like keep going? Because that was a question that I had for her, because she has like a bigger audience and everything. And, I just wanted to learn like what I could keep doing and what I could do better and stuff. And she's just like, she's like, I work with people that just are so close. They are literally about to break that. Like, it's like if you have a sledgehammer and you're about to like, you're trying to take this wall down, and you're like banging it and banging it. It's like, it's chipping away slowly. It's like that person that just keeps going is going to break through that wall. And it's like, she's seen people that are literally about to do it. And then they are just like, it's not working. And they drop out. And it's just, all of that just is like gone,
Yeah.
And so it's just like, you just have to believe in yourself and like, just go for it and like, keep going at it. And even though it's like, I'm 3 years into this and now I'm starting to see the movement, and I'm glad, like at first I was so angry, like, why is nobody, but it's like, no, I'm so happy that it's taken this time, because I've become who I've wanted to become, and I'm still learning on who I want to become. At first I was like, I don't know what she means by that. But then like, now I do. Like, you can't say if this happens, you start saying when it happens, and already talk about like, if it already has happened. And it's like, that also adds to the confidence and adds to the ability of that becoming a reality so much faster and like so much more. Cause it's like, when people start seeing that you're confident in what you're doing, people are going to want to start knowing what you're doing. Like, if you're like, no, I have a song, it's okay, like, I'm not going to listen to it, because it's like, if you don't believe in it, then why should I like listen to it, But it's like, I've had friends that are like that are like, I have a song, and they show me, and I'm like, holy fuck, like, go put that out in the world. Are you kidding me? Like, it's just like, go do something with it, please. And it's just like, it's really cool. And like, you got to believe in yourself and really talk about like you getting to that point.
Yeah. honestly. And it's like, I wish people understood when others said believe in yourself, because I mean, like, let's face it, that was probably on a poster in like our fourth grade wall. Like, you know what I mean? Believe in yourself. That's something that we hear all the time, but it's embodying that feeling, like knowing that it's just your life. Like you like pretend that you already have it. Those feelings that you get when you have it, live with those feelings right there. Like truly, truly believe in yourself. It's a cliche, but it's true, because at the end of the day, we're not alone, but we are also alone. Like no one knows this version of us like yourself. Like there's a million different versions out there. You only know this version of yourself. You know yourself the best. So believe in yourself, because like people don't know you the way that you know you, despite what you may think. And it's hard to keep going, but you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Oh, just what people do.
Yes, literally, if there is anybody out there listening to this right now, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Ooh, trippy. No, if anybody is listening to this right now and you are struggling and you think that you're not at that point yet, you are so close and you are going to make it. And I love you, and just keep going, because I believe in you. Hey, I believe in you. Don't listen to anybody else. We believe in you. We're
we
here
believe in you.
We love you, and you're going to go crazy, and you're going to do amazing things, and you're going to change the world.
We are cheering you on.
Yes.
And with that, do you have anything left to add before we wrap up?
I guess all I really want to say is, in the end, is just never doubt yourself. Like, you can do anything you put your mind to. And I always used to disagree with people and like, oh, I guess, yeah, whatever, but no, you literally can. You can make your dreams a reality. And I know that sounds absolutely insane, but you literally can. Be yourself, love yourself, like reach for the fucking stars. Like, I know that sounds so cliche and cheesy, but
you'll land on the moon.
Yes, you'll land on Mars. All right,
yes,
before Elon
better.
Musk. Get there before Elon. You can change the world. You just got to keep going and believe in yourself. That's all.